For some reason it's actually really hard to get open. I would end up breaking my nails doing this. So I've just tried to do a halo eye and oh my god, I've closed the palette so I can't even get it open again. Oh, what a nightmare. Quite over dramatic again, but oh my god, I've just closed the palette again. Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here, which chances are you are. So today I am testing, even though it's not even October yet, I am testing some of the new I Heart Revolution Halloween palettes. Today I'm testing the Blood palette, but next week I will be testing the Slime palette, so stay tuned for that. But today I am just testing out the Slime palette, seeing how it performs, seeing what the shades are like, trying to create a Halloweeny look, which is obviously what I've got on now. But if you wanted to see how I did it and what shades I used, then do carry on watching. I am just going to insert a few swatches in the next clip so you can see all of the shades, because obviously I can't use them all on my face today. But I will be trying to create something a little bit Halloweeny, obviously sticking with the Halloween theme that the palette is. So these are the swatches. I fit them all on my arm just about. And they've all swatched really nicely. The shimmer shades obviously swatched amazingly, as they always do. There's some really nice shades in there. Obviously I really like the bright red and the pinks and stuff. So I've just brought the camera in closer so we can obviously see what I'm doing on my eyes. And I haven't actually opened this palette yet. I obviously saved it for the video as usual. But I Heart Revolution have also released a slime palette, which is also obviously a Halloween palette. So I will be testing that in Sunday's video, I think. But today I'm just going to focus on the Blood palette and just do a quick look with this, do a few swatches, review it, see how it performs. I expect it to perform like all the other I Heart Revolution chocolate palettes, although having said that, these are actually my first chocolate palettes, believe it or not. For some reason it's actually really hard to get open. I would end up breaking my nails doing this. Oh my god. Just had to use a brush to get that open. Okay, so despite it being really difficult to open for some reason, it's a really pretty palette. It's got some nice shades in here. I will do a close-up, but here they are. And I really like the shade names as well. They're really stuck to the blood theme and the Halloween theme. Like we've got Blood Test, Type A, Bloodthirsty, Vampire, Congeal, which is a bit gross, but I think it's probably got something to do with the heart. But we are basically just going to do a look with this today. I'm thinking of obviously doing a reddy pink look, because that's obviously what colours we've got here. And I'm definitely trying to include this shade here called Type AB. It looks like it's kind of like a golden pinky duochrome, so I'm quite excited to use that one. So I think I'm actually going to go straight into Bloodthirsty here and just start with the brightest shade, because last time that actually worked better for me. So I'm just going to take any old brush. This one's actually already stained purple, but it'll be fine. And I'm just going to put that on my crease. Okay, so that shade is super pigmented. It isn't as red as I thought it would be. It is kind of like a pinky red. I don't know if you can see. I messed this side up a bit because I started trying to blend it out and then remembered that I was just going to blend it out with another shade anyway. But that shade is like really pigmented and there's no like fallout in the pan either. It is like pink though. Like if you compare it to the shade in the pan, it doesn't really match up. I don't know if it's because the staining from the brush had something to do with it, but it is more pink than red in my opinion. And then I'm just going to blend that out a bit with the shade Heartbeat, which right now looks quite similar to what's on my eyelid, so it'll be interesting to see how that colour comes out on my eye. So that colour is almost identical. I don't really know what's going on. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm just going to try and go back in to the red shade and see if I can make it more red. Okay, so I think it's kind of helped. It's definitely red on the brush, so it might have just been kind of a bit of the staining on the brush already. But that is looking very bright and very pigmented. I think I'm now gonna, oh actually, I might try and do a bit more blending with this orangey shade type A here, just to just use a bit more of the colours. So those blended really nicely. I am obviously right up to my eyebrow now, so I have run out of room to do any more blending. But I am going to smoke out a bit slightly in the outer corners using... I think I'm going to use this shade here, this like, I think it's slightly shimmery, but it's like a dark burgundy, browny, red shade here called Capillary. So that shade is down, and it was a shimmer. I don't know if you can see it, but it wasn't quite as dark as I was expecting it to be, but I think that is because it's a shimmer. So I'm actually going to do a halo eye today rather than my usual cut crease. So I'm just going to quickly do that, and then I think I'm going to go in with this shade here called Type AB. So I've just tried to do a halo eye, and oh my god, I've closed the palette so I can't even get it open again. What a nightmare. Sorry, but who designed this packaging? Why is it so difficult to get open? Christ. So I've just done the halo eye, and it is obviously uneven and isn't looking great right now, but it'll look fine after I've gone in with that shade. I'm just going to take it on my finger just because it's always easier to do that, and it is this shade here that I'm using. So I did mess up this eye a bit, and the payoff just wasn't as good as I was expecting. Like, it does look really nice, and it does look a bit powdery and patchy on my eyelid, even though I didn't like powder the concealer down or anything. So I'm just going to try and neaten it up with a flat brush. I'm not sure if that really helped or made it worse, but I'm just going to blend it all together again with that shade that I used earlier called Capillary. And then just to add a pop of shine, I'm going to go in with Type O and just pop that on the very middle of my eyelid. And I always forget to put eyeshadow on my bottom eyelid, so I'm just going to go back in with that red shade called Bloodthirsty and just pop that on my lower lash line. Yeah, that shade is definitely more pink than red, and I don't know how that's happening, but I am slightly disappointed that it's not more red, but it's still a nice shade. So this is the look. I am just going to complete it with some liner and lashes and then be back with my final thoughts. Okay, so liner and lashes are just about on. I did kind of mess up on the eyeliner, so if it's looking a bit messier, that is why. But I'm still pretty happy with how the look turned out. It is very like Halloween-y, quite overdramatic again. But, oh my god, I've just closed the palette again. This is literally the only way I've been able to open it, is by jamming the end of my eyeshadow brush into the little opener bit. Like, it's so difficult to get open. But once you've opened it, there are some really pretty shades in here. They all worked really well. The only thing I was disappointed about is this shade here, which turned out to be more pink than red, even though it looks really red in the pan. And then this shade here didn't have as much payoff as I wanted it to. But other than that, it is a really solid palette. Obviously I didn't get to use all the shades, but I'm sure they all performed just as well as the ones I used today. As I mentioned earlier, I will also be testing the other Halloween palette that I Heart Revolution released, which is the Slime palette. I think Revolution released their whole Halloween line on Friday the 13th, funnily enough. which will be obviously a couple of days ago when this gets uploaded, but for me that is tomorrow. So I might pick up a few more bits if anyone wants me to test more of the Revolution Halloween line. But I really like the packaging. I think it's really cool. Obviously it's supposed to look like blood, but still in keeping with the chocolate theme, with the chocolate bar up here. So obviously the packaging looks good. Obviously it doesn't function that well because it is the most difficult thing I've ever tried to open, but I'd still say it is a solid palette and you could create so many good Halloween looks with that one. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, feel free to like, comment and subscribe. As I said, I'll be testing the other Halloween palette next week, so if you want to see that, make sure you do subscribe. But hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye!